Well, Tom's here. Tom.
It's so bright.
I know.
Gotta do something.
You got great lighting there.
You've got the wonderful lighting. Look at him.
Oh, look. That's better there. That's better.
You got to hold it up the whole time.
Well, at least everybody knows your beautiful skin tone.
Yeah.
You can just show them that once and they'll know.
How's it been going today?
It's been great. It went real smooth. Everything's been fine.
Are you guys drunk?
It's just Texas.
Do I seem drunk or?
Well, no, I'm looking at all these white Russians you're drinking here.
It's apple juice.
Yeah,
no, that's what Dean Martin would have said,
Apple juice for you, Tom.
Yes.
Tom doesn't drink very often because he's so clean and pure and he's got muscle.
I don't drink. But I'm hating this lighting.
We'll drink for you right now, Tom.
You look great.
You look fine. The lighting's fine. You look great.
What I want to know is, are you going to show us your muscles right now?
You mean?
I'll show you mine here.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
No. There's none there. It's all beer.
Let's see if I have any abs going today.
Oh yeah. Whoa! Look at that.
Come on, machine.
No abs. It's the lighting.
It's messing everything up.
If the lighting was better,
If I do mine while you do yours, you'll look like an Adonis, which you are. So
somebody challenged me to that 10 push-up thing.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
But I did 30 of them.
Look at you.
And well, for an old man, that's pretty good. Yeah.
It's hard. I don't think a lot of people really know your true age because you don't look your true age.
Well, I'm 73.
That's amazing.
He's 41. Don't listen to him. All right, he's 41.
I was just watching the Joe Bob Briggs show. Because Tony was talking about he flew to Dallas, and I had to fly to Dallas to do the Joe Bob Briggs show. But I was just watching. I was just able to bring it up on Shudder. It was on last night, I think. Yeah,
it was last night. Yeah.
I guess.
Am I looking? If I look here, I'm looking at you, right? If I look
you're
there,
looking right at me.
You're looking right at us.
I'm looking at your image on the screen, but I should be looking there. Okay.
I think we have that problem too. We're looking at Tom.
We do the same thing.
And then we're looking at the camera.
Yeah, I'm looking at your profile, and I think you're doing the same with me.
That's fine. I want to bring up something and show you.
What do you have?
Okay.
What do you got, Loyd?
Charles and I have this idea of a new photo op that we want you to recreate in Dallas.
Really?
Yeah, I think you're going to like it a lot.
Yeah, here's what we want to do right here. What do you think?
Can we do it?
You know what? It's funny because that costume is still at Carnegie Mellon University in the basement. I think it's still down there, yeah.
I thought he was going to say it's in his basement. But Tom's going to be like, I have it. It's right here.
Well, I still have my armor, and it still fits.
Of course it does.
You've got the cod piece here. Is that what we call this? As a cod piece?
This was an embarrassing day because I didn't know I was going to wear that stuff. And the girls, one girl just got off the elevator, and they asked her if she wanted to be in a movie.
The
one girl on the left is.
You may bring it back up.
Yeah. I forget her name. The girl behind me with her head tilted back there, directly behind my arm and my wrist and that bracelet.
Yeah.
She's the daughter of a famous sculptor. But the girl on the right, she was getting off the elevator and somebody approached her. Hey, you want to be in a movie?
I think
they put that costume on her, and there you go.
I think we could do the photo op, but me and Loyd could be the girls in it.
Well, if we're going to do the photo op, and if you're serious, which I hope you're not, you're going to have to find two girls like that, and get the outfits.
You won't let us do it? You won't let us wear the outfits?
Well, that would be funny, but, I think what you should do is replace the girls and just bring the people in who are going to get photographed and put them behind me,
Okay.
Or sit them on my lap or something,
Well, if you can get that costume from Carnegie, then we're down. We'll do it.
Well, I do have the armor, but that's not going to work.
Okay, so let's move on. Let's be a little serious here.
All right, let's be serious. What do we got?
I have a copy that you sent me of your new book.
I'm very proud of that book.
It's a great book. It really is.
Thank you. Did you learn a lot about my childhood?
I did. I learned a lot about a lot, and not just from the book, but also from the documentary on Shudder too.
Yeah.
It's on right
Smoke
now.
and Mirrors. Yeah.
About you, and I thought I knew everything about Tom Savini, but
He's an enigma.
Apparently I don't,
He's an enigma.
or I didn't know. So tell us about it. Tell us what.
Well, I always objected to showing so much personal stuff, but then I took Smoke and Mirrors to the Sitges Film Festival, and I actually got up and apologized to the crowd afterwards for how much personal stuff was in there. And they they raised their hands, they screamed, "No, that's what we want." Everybody knows about the movie career. Everybody knows about the movies that I've done, but the personal stuff is what they're mainly interested in. So that's why the book has so much. I mean, the book is full of theater and the movies and stuff that I've done, but there's some things in there that will shock people, I think, especially about, maybe some things that happened to me when I was a kid and how I didn't let it affect me or blame it on any problems that, there are no problems that I had. I think I grew up pretty stable and pretty goal-oriented, and despite some of the stuff that happened. And, Tony was saying that he was poor growing up, and I'm sure that was motivation for him, as it was for me. We had nothing. I had to shine shoes to buy my first mask from the back of Famous Monsters of Filmland, That's why I have so many masks today, because it was so difficult to obtain a mask. So being poor had a lot to do with it. And somebody, I think it was Chris Rock, that said something about, thank God for bullies. Thank God that we have bullies, or we wouldn't have the artists that we have today. And I really agree with that. I was terribly bullied. I had a big nose. It forced me to get a nose job. I was very insecure. I had an inferiority complex. So all those things propel kids my age into doing what we find success in doing. You know what I mean? And that's true of so many people that I've read about.
You're right. It does. It makes you hungry. It makes you hungry, and you go out there and strive for more. You want more. You want to have more. You want your kids to have more than you had when you were a kid.
Exactly. What's this thing? Travis Brown. People want to know the real Tom.
These are comments, Tom.
Oh, okay. I got you.
People are leaving comments on Facebook, and there's people like Luke Woodhouse. Greetings from Australia.
Wow, my wife is from Sydney, Luke.
Yes, nice. She is.
Look, I can't wait to get my hands on that book. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Somebody says, some of us are built from the rocks thrown at us.
Oh, I like that.
That's a great line.
Clarissa Hernandez says that.
Can I use that?
Yeah.
Clarissa, can I use that in my future comments?
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. Look, Night of the Living Dead. That's this book right here.
There.
That's about to ask. There it is.
Yeah, I'll be bringing this to Texas because we're going to have the whole cast there. This is the version you've never seen before. It's the storyboards and, photos and comments from the actors, but it's mainly to show you what I intended to do and didn't get to do in the movie. That's why it's called the version you've never seen before. So when you look through that book, you'll see what the movie could have been, and hopefully those images will complete the picture in your mind of the version you've never seen before.
Right. It's how involved was George with the shooting of the remake?
With the shooting, no, he was there the first day, maybe the second day at the cemetery. Mm-hmm. And he actually said something. He said, I overheard him say, Tom doesn't want us here. And I yelled, no, George, are you kidding? I love that you're here. Because I really wanted to impress George. I really wanted to impress him with what I was doing. But he had to get back to Florida to finish writing The Dark Half. He had a deadline for that. So he was there the first couple of days, and then he was there the last day or two, okay? But if he was there, it would have been a lot more fun. As you know, if you've heard me talk, it wasn't a very good experience because they kept slapping my hand there, and there were so many things that didn't get done simply because there wasn't time, But I understand a lot of the budget didn't make it into making the movie. I don't know where it went. We could have used another week of shooting. So somebody got greedy back then. It wasn't George, believe me. Somebody got greedy back then, and we could have used more time.
Is that intervention from the studio? Is that what you're saying? Is a lot of studio intervention, or
no? Just well, even before we started shooting, I had, as you will see, Loyd, do you have the Night of the Living Dead book?
I don't have the book.
Okay, well, I will of course personally hand you one or send you one.
Okay.
But, when you see the storyboards, those storyboards, 600 of them, were up on the wall in my office. So anybody that came in, the prop guys, the wardrobe, anybody, I could go through and show them exactly what the movie was going to be. George came in, he saw it, and he said, "This is wonderful, but you have a 6-week movie up there, and you've only got 4 weeks to shoot it."
Yeah.
Okay? So they immediately cut, I don't know why, they cut Tom catching on fire at the gas pumps when they all go to with the truck, and he shoots the gas tank. Well, I had him getting caught on fire. It's in the book, of course, Well, they cut that. And I said, what the stunt guy said, we can do that in 20 minutes. They cut it. He said, we don't want to use any of the dialogue. And my argument back then was, if you're going to a movie, you want to see stuff happen. You don't want to listen to people talk unless it's My Dinner with Andre or something like that, But they were cutting action for dialogue before we established a pace. Like they didn't know how many shots we were going to get off in a day. So it doesn't make sense to cut something before you see what our pace could be. Our pace could have been something where we were just knocking it out of the park every day, But it wasn't George, and it wasn't the studio. It was, and it's in the book, it's a couple of people whose names I don't want to mention, who weren't supposed to be there. All of a sudden they were there. So, and I was in the middle of a divorce 2 weeks into it. So, my mind was where, trying to make a great movie to impress George, but dealing with maybe losing my daughter, losing my bank account, so it was testy.
I don't know how you did it. I mean, I would find, normal life difficult at that point.
Well, it was tough every day. How am I going to get through this day? And you do what you have to do. And it's true about Nietzsche saying what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That could have killed me. I mean, I could have had a nervous breakdown, a heart attack. It makes you stronger. It makes you deal with life. Like right now, I'm enjoying the hell out of this lockdown. Yeah. I'm going to miss it. I'm really going to miss it. I will never say again in my life, I'll do that when I have time. You make time for the things that you want to do. That's what this is showing me, giving us all this time. I mean, I've sculpted a Vincent Price from the House of Wax. I've painted the bathroom, and I enjoy the hell out of my wife. So being with her every day. Look, amen to that, Clarissa. Thank you.
Yes.
Is she the one from Australia?
Clarissa, no, I don't believe so. That was can't remember the name off the top of my head.
Right. So I told you I made a bunch of Leatherface masks. Those sold instantly. I've joined Cameo. I've got 4 cameos to do today. Every day I'm doing like 2 or 3 cameos. So, I mean, that's something I would not have made time for before.
Definitely staying busy.
Yeah, very busy.
So go ahead. Go ahead. So what do you got behind you there? You've got a bunch of busts. Are those busts that you've made?
Oh, yeah. Those are my Universal Monster sculptures.
Yeah.
Let me move my chair out of the way.
Okay.
What's he got there? Oh, those are beautiful.
Now they're not painted. They're not painted in what I call the museum quality paint. I usually go through and add deep shadows, just completely paint it, and then wipe it off So like in museum, it looks like dirt in the cracks, So those were, I started with Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, I know. When my dad died, I sculpted him. Now, after you make the mold, the sculpture stays intact. So I tore my dad's face off and put a clay press of Boris Karloff in it and sculpted Frankenstein. When I made that, when the molds were made from that, I took Frankenstein's face off and did the mummy. And then each one is the same way. On the same blob of clay was Frankenstein, Ardith Bey, Imhotep, Bela Lugosi's Dracula, the Phantom of the Opera, and even the creature from the Black Lagoon. So those are on display at the Monster Cafe at Universal Studios, Florida.
Those are gorgeous.
Those are gorgeous.
Thank you.
I've got a question from one of the attendees who said, what was it like working on Eyes of a Stranger?
Eyes of a Stranger. Oh, that was in Miami, Florida with Jennifer Jason Leigh. I think she was 11 or 12. She played a blind girl, and she was being stalked.
Yes.
By John DeSanti, and Lauren Toos from The Love Boat was her mother, and she wound up shooting the killer in the bathroom. Okay, and Jennifer Jason Leigh, she spent a lot of time at 11 or 12 years old telling us dirty jokes.
What?
She was hilarious. Yeah.
She was how old?
11 or 12. Yeah.
Wow.
But her mom was terrific stage mom. She was so funny in her own right. And her father was killed in the Twilight Zone movie.
Oh yeah. What was his name in the helicopter scene?
The helicopters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was sad.
What was his name?
Vince Morrow? Vince
Morrow.
Yeah. So I think it was after that. No. I think Twilight Zone happened after that. So he wasn't killed in that accident, but they were divorced, so. Yeah.
Somebody said, what was it like to create Jason Voorhees on Friday the 13th?
Well, I mean, it was, look what's happened since then. He's a major, we didn't know he was going to become a major icon, But I modeled him after a guy that I saw in my neighborhood. We didn't call him homeless back then. He was just a bum. His name was Bill Bailey. One ear was lower than the other. His eye was like a Quasimodo eye. So I really made Jason look like that guy. And Jason had hair to begin with, the young kid.
Yeah.
But it didn't look scary enough. So I gave him a mongoloid pinhead dome. And that's something that I just came up with. And that just to make him scarier. But he originally had hair,
Yeah. And that was my favorite. Part 4 is my favorite Friday of all time. And I think it's a lot of people's favorite, Yeah.
I know, because the series, okay, I turned down part 2 because they had Jason running around. I said, wait a minute. Jason isn't alive. It's a kid that died in the first movie. Oh, no. We're going to change that. Well, of course they did not. And I did The Burning instead. Miramax's Harvey Weinstein.
Because I love the movie.
Yeah. So, and they wrote that before Friday the 13th. He had to, Weinstein had to keep telling people that because they thought it was a Friday the 13th ripoff. Okay. So I turned down part 2. They did not offer me part 3. But here comes the 4th one, and the franchise was waning. And they brought me in because, I gave birth to Jason. They brought me in to kill him, okay? And the death wasn't in the script. We invented that as we were going along. So, and that's why it's called The Final Chapter. They really thought it was the last one. But it made so much money. I mean, we're going to see Friday the 13th, part 13, I'm sure.
Yeah, it made so much money. How could they not make another one?
Yeah. And next weekend is the 40th anniversary of Friday the 13th. That's
the original?
Yeah, the original came out.
That's right. We were supposed to go. I was supposed to be at the Camp Nobi Bosco in near Blairstown, PA. But something came up. Texas Frightmare came up. That's right. Texas Frightmare would have been this week, right?
It would have been today.
Today.
That's why we're kind of doing this whole celebration today and having a bunch of people on and talking about
it. So the 40th is next week, you're saying?
Next weekend was the original release date.
Yeah. Oh, no. I would be doing Monster Palooza then. So I told the Friday the 13th camp people I'll be at Monster Palooza. But now that's changed till next May.
Yeah.
So if you're out there, contact me. Maybe I can still do your show at Camp Nobi Bosco.
Have you done that? Have you been there before?
Once.
For an event?
Once. It was a blast. The sleeping arrangement was terrible. And I've asked them never to put me there again. I mean, Harry Manfredini, Robbie Morgan, they stayed at a hotel near the camp. In fact, when we shot the movie, Tasso and I, my assistant, we stayed at the camp. We didn't stay at the hotel with the cast and the crew, because at the camp we had the kitchen, we had the ovens. We baked the foam latex in the pizza ovens in the Boy Scout camp. Okay, so we stayed at the camp because we had a boat, we had a motorcycle, we had a blast. Okay, so I thought staying at the camp like we did when we made it would be fun. When we did the reunion thing, it was horrible.
Sure.
No matter 2:00 and the bathroom was just horrible.
You had to make a trek to the bathroom and everything.
It was like across the road, and in the middle of the night, what are you going to do? And then the crowd came in, and they would start using the bathroom, so it wasn't private for us. Anyway, enough about the bathroom.
What great. Else, Tom? What do you? Anything else you want to talk about?
Okay, yes. Shudder. There's a lot going on Shudder with me. Smoke and Mirrors, of course. Nosferatu, the TV series, the second season. I'm in that, nice. which is amazing because the day I arrived, I did a scene with Zachary Quinto. I'm in a makeup that I can't tell you what it is, but there's Zachary Quinto, and he reminded me in the makeup trailer that we went to the same college, Carnegie Mellon. We went to the same high school, Central High School, because he's from Pittsburgh. So we connected immediately, but it was such a thrill to be, doing a scene with Zachary, Mr. Spock, Smoke and Mirrors is good. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Nosferatu, I'm in that. Lock and Key is on Netflix. It's on there right now. And I'm in the second episode, but I mentioned in all of them, especially the first one, the first episode of Lock and Key, there's a bunch of kids called the Savini Squad.
Yeah.
They want to make horror movies, okay? So I'm the huge inspiration for them. And it's funny because people would email me, hey, do you know that you're being mentioned on the first? Oh, wait a minute. There you are. They're watching the second episode where I appear, And
you're like, of course I know.
So I said to Joe Hill, I think the fans are writing me. They want to see what happens when the key goes into my neck, because I have a keyhole back there. I'm not giving anything away. You clearly see it if you watch the episode.
Yeah.
He said, I want to see that too. So hopefully they'll bring me back, because my assistant is always joking. Do those kids know that Tom Savini is working in a hardware store down the street? So, I mean, I'm not Tom Savini in the film, in the series.
Right.
So anyway, Lock and Key on Netflix.
Well, before we move on, hey, Joe Hill, we have to mention that you worked with him when he was a little boy in Creepshow.
He was the little boy in the bed reading the comic books that Tom Atkins, smacks. And we were his. He would, if he were here, he would tell you we were his babysitter. Me and the effects team, because he was always with us. He was always, because that's where the monsters were. The monsters and the makeups and Fluffy and Nate's corpse. The room was filled with that stuff. So he was always with us, shooting on the sets in the studio. Okay, so So and he's very loyal. His book that just came out, Total.
Yeah, I'm blanking on that too. But he just had a book come out.
The whole introduction is about that time and about me.
Oh, really?
On Creepshow, the whole introduction to that book is about his inspiration, and he's very loyal. He brought me on Lock and Key. He brought me into Nosferatu, and hopefully he'll bring me back in Lock and Key to get that key in my neck. So anyway, okay. So Lock and Key. Well, Smoke and Mirrors is on Shudder, and Creepshow. My Creepshow episode that I directed is on Shudder, and I think starting May 4th, all of the Creepshow episodes are going to play on AMC. They're taking it from Shudder. Well, AMC owns Shudder, So those are going to be broadcast on AMC. And AMC, it'll be next year, the next season of Creepshow will be AMC and not Shudder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So what else is going on? We're making these safety masks with like a hockey mask. My assistant is doing those.
I've seen those.
He sold 300 of them yesterday. Yesterday, one day.
300
of those of the bottom of the hockey mask, which has a filter in it. It's it's a good virus mask.
Mm-hmm.
And people are sending me, like somebody sent me a face hugger from Alien that's a safety mask. It's on my Instagram. Yeah. Go to my Instagram, you'll see all this shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So what else? You showed the book. Yeah. Okay.
We showed the book. We've talked about Shudder. Yep. You've been a busy man lately.
Yeah, you've been very busy.
You've been painting the bathroom.
Painting bathrooms.
The bathroom. A cameo. That's a challenge. People will come in. Hey, can you give a shout out to my husband? He's a little down now because of this lockdown, and he's an artist, So, and that's something else that's on Instagram. It's gotten 29,000 hits so far. I was talking to artists about using this time to flourish, and I showed them that I'm sitting there in front of a blob of clay, and I did something I've been wanting to do, which is Vincent Price from the House of Wax. I've never seen anybody do that. Okay. So it's my version of Vincent Price. I don't have a. It's in the studio, which is back there. But you'll see it eventually. Maybe I'll bring it to Texas. Who knows?
Please, yeah, show it online.
I have a deal with Trick or Treat Studios. They've been selling masks that I've sculpted. They're going to be putting out Fluffy, as a matter of fact.
Wow. Oh wow!
The whole Fluffy bust, of which you have the face of.
Yes.
The whole front of that bust as a wall hanging or as a tabletop thing. They're putting that out. And they asked me for the Vincent Price thing because they're going to get a licensing for the House of Wax and Vincent Price. So maybe Trick or Treat will be selling that soon.
That's crazy.
Isn't Trick or Treat amazing? We were just talking to one of our vendors about them.
They are. Will they be there in Texas?
Yes. Yeah.
Great guys. Great guy. Justin Mabry, terrific artist. And they're the biggest mask makers around aside from Distortions Unlimited. In fact, Distortions manufactures some of the stuff from Trick or Treat Studios.
My wife took this off the wall so we can.
There's Fluffy.
There's Fluffy.
Yeah. Well, yours is very special. Yours is special. He's from the original mold. Not the sculpture that I just did for Trick or Treat. That's the original mold of Fluffy. And of course, I added all that hair to it.
I know you did. You hand punched all of that.
Oh, yeah.
It's Fluffy Test.
He's beautiful.
He looks great. He looks great right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's put him right here for right now.
Okay.
And you're the only one that has something like that. This has not been mass produced in any way.
Really?
Yeah.
I know you've made a few every now and then though, right? Or do you just not use the original?
Of that Fluffy? No.
Wow.
Loyd's very special. That's why. He's a very special man.
Well, Tom knows how I feel about him.
I'm sorry?
I said, Tom knows how I feel about him.
Yes.
All he ever does is talk about Tom.
That's why he's sitting there with you.
Yeah. Tom, thank you for coming on.
My pleasure. Yeah.
So I want to ask you one thing before I let you go. Somebody said that we need a Sex Machine prequel. I think that's a fabulous idea.
It's interesting that you said that because when the movie came out, the Alamo Draft House in Dallas, in Austin, brought me down there for the Tom Savini Film Festival.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that does Ain't It Cool News? Harry Knowles was sitting there, and Robert Rodriguez was sitting there. In fact, he edited together a piece that he showed of the more violent death that I handed to vampires when I was staking them and, clubbing them, in the titty twister. And somebody in the crowd said they would like to see a Sex Machine prequel, like on its own. Like, where did he come from? But there are some fans that speculate that I'm always the same guy, like the biker from
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn
I totally think Rodriguez needs to revisit this.
Well, I hope he's watching.
Yeah, I would love to see a second.
It was suggested, and I have the crotch rocket. I have the gun.
Tom could play the part again. You look exactly the same, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't aged. You are a vampire.
You are a vampire, Tom.
That's what Rick Baker said. Rick Baker posted on Instagram when I posted a picture of me and Tommaso Salvini. Tommaso Salvini is an actor in the 18th century. And I put the pictures side by side when all those history likenesses were coming up. So here I am as Tommaso Salvini. Even the name is very close. And Rick Baker came in and said, I knew you were a fucking vampire.
You are.
I looked that up, and I'm looking at him right now.
You are. Okay.
Yeah. And here it is. Tommaso, Tommaso Salvini. Yeah, look it up, guys.
Well, when I went to Carnegie Mellon University, I'm sitting there on the first day of theater history class, and the teacher is calling out names for attendance. He got to my name and he stopped and he went, Tom Savini? Where are you? Do you know who Tommaso Salvini was? And I did not know. So he was very impressed that here I am, an acting major in a school where historically one of the greatest actors was in the 18th century, Tommaso Salvini, so. Anyway.
That's amazing. You're reincarnated.
I'm a vampire.
He's a vampire.
So what else, Tom? Do you have anything else you want to point us to?
Well, we've covered so much.
Yeah, we have covered a lot.
Nosferatu, Smoke and Mirrors. Well, I'm really looking forward to getting down to Texas for Frightmare.
We miss
especially with the whole cast from Night of the Living Dead. I'm hoping there'll be a photo op with all of us together that fans can come in, and
there is.
I mean, the only person that's not going to be there is Tom Tolles.
Yeah,
because he's deceased, and the little girl. God, this is not a good time to remember names. She's
I can't remember her either. I'm losing her name.
She's a Broadway actress. She's been around in so many things. Anyway, she won't be there, but everybody else is going to be there.
Yeah,
I mean, the fans have never seen. Well, like you asked Tony, when's the last time we were together? When we made the movie. So for the fans, it's the first time to be with us since the movie, So, yeah.
It's going to be great.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm really glad we have the opportunity to do that here in Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
hey, what about, did they already have the Rondo Hatton Awards? Because your show was nominated, right? For the best convention?
Yeah, I think they already did. We get nominated. We've been nominated the last 3 or 4 years, but we never win, which is okay because, I don't go around and plug it and push people to vote for us or anything.
You don't do the hard sell. I don't like the hard sell either.
Yeah. I figure if people want to vote for us, if not, may the best man win.
Okay. So the awards are over as far as you know.
Yeah, I think they announced the winners, didn't they?
I think they did. But
you were nominated for, what was that again?
Smoke and Mirrors.
Smoke and Mirrors.
We'll have to pull
best documentary. Well, I didn't hear from anybody, so I guess we didn't win.
Yeah, I guess not. Oh, well, there's always next time.
We'll make our own awards.
Okay.
Well, Tom, it's been a pleasure talking
Thank you,
to
Tom.
you today.
Same here.
If you want to check out Tom, make sure you go and buy his book. Where can you get the book right now, Tom?
Boy, the publisher's going to crucify me for this.
Yeah.
It's on Amazon.
I should be rattling off. Well, it's Dark Ink Publishing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a specific address. But Dark Ink, look up Dark Ink Publishing, and it's there. For the deluxe version, which is what you have. You have the numbered deluxe version. There's still maybe 100 of those left, I think. But the other version is Amazon. It's all over the world, so that is easily obtainable through Dark Ink or Amazon.
Okay.
It's just called Savini,
Yep.
And then check out everything that he's got going on Shudder. You have Lock and Key.
Well, Instagram has everything right there.
Yeah.
So go to Instagram and check out what Tom's got, and he'll point you to it.
Okay.
All right.
I'll see you guys in September.
We'll see you in September.
I feel like singing the song again.
Go ahead.
We should all sing it.
Let's do it.
See you in September. Okay, that's good enough. make everybody do that.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to do it. Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
I know.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.